Right, Shalom. Alahayim, peace to the gods, Nawathan, Kal, Halalimla, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Hakodash, giving all praises to Yahweh in the name, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the heads and elders of all the camps of Great Millstone, GMS, who do well, or the true leaders of all Israel, Yasha'Allah today, whether you can receive it or not. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the Bayat, the Wada, the house of David, the tabernacle of David, those predestined spirits of election scattered abroad as the Lord is rising up in these days, closing the breaches thereof, as they have faith on Yahweh Shai, rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of their ability. All right, the 144,000, 12,000 men, prophets of each tribe of Israel, and the innumerable multitude scattered abroad, including the 1/3 here in Babylon, the great of men, women, and children outside the office of a prophet. This is your brother Tazapanya of the Great Millstone, Washington, D.C. Church, out of one, Ratazah, Lord willing. It's in transit, meditation before the plantation. It's edifying unto the elect, Israel epistle. So, at least we should have, because the Lord set us up to be watchmen, but if not, then maybe this is your first time hearing it. But a couple brothers did some videos last night. I was listening into them and doing my research regarding India attacked Pakistan. Now there's always been conflict between these two countries, okay, but the reason why some of them say this is this could speed up prophecy more than Russia, Ukraine, more than China and Taiwan, is because Israel and Pakistan are officially recognized as nuclear equipped countries. Okay, Russia has ICBMs, Ukraine doesn't. Hence why they always go in somewhere to ask for weapons and all of that. China has ICBMs, Taiwan doesn't. Okay. Um, and in regards to those countries, both of those countries already owned those lands, all right, in their old empires. Taiwan was pretty much always part of China, if I'm not mistaken, and Ukraine definitely was part of the Soviet Union. Okay, shares the same landmass. Okay, um, so this India-Pakistan, it could be a little bit different into the geographical history, but we know that they're all Elamites. Okay, they all are the same people. All right, you know that lives in this area, man. You know, descendants of Persians. Okay, um, the true Persians are Iranians, but Elam is coined through, the proverb, let's say, of East India. And the East Indians are a very vast people, whether they call themselves Indians or Iranians or Persians or Pakistani or Sri Lankans, so on and so forth. All right, big nation. You could go into the scriptures referring to how big the nation of Elam was. But the point is that I think Pakistan borders India in the northwest corridor, and like I said, they're nuclear capable both. Pakistani, I think their main religion is Islam, while India's main religion is Hindu, and many other gods. So there could be a reason why of that conflict right there, because they have different ideologies. And I think Pakistani is more on the Shia type side, the more violent, holy war, jihadish type side. Hence why they're willing to go do certain things on a different level, you know. So, you know, the scriptures talk about there shall be wars and rumors of wars. Okay. So when two nuclear capable, emotionally charged countries go at it towards each other, that is going to naturally uh, try to allow other countries to try to jump in because of whatever um, ulterior motive they have, but ultimately because they don't want them to use their missiles. Because anybody that uses a nuclear missile bomb, there is going to be consequences, repercussions, collateral with other people. And that's a big thing, obviously, because you like, yo, you know, I don't care what y'all got going on, but if y'all go to this level, I'm gonna get affected. So therefore, you are forcing me to get involved, you know. So that is why that's happening right now. Okay. And it shows you that we are approaching these end times, the end of the end, you know, quicker than we can believe, man. You know, all while Nero's in office. You know, it hasn't even been, you know, half a year yet. And you know, all types of wars and rumors of wars and trade wars and economic wars and, you know, violent skirmishes, proxy wars, all these things is coming up, man. And this is why we've been telling our people on them highways and hedges to get right. But we know that obviously the 2/3 not going to get right. It's only for the elect. So that's pretty much what we only there for. But we really there for Yahweh Shem Shai, as we are commanded to go teach, so the blood can be off our hands and so we can obey the Lord and that we can fall under his good graces and mercy, right? Because all of this is going to rear its head right here. You got even more talks with race war, man. You know, over here, the elder Cali Mawata Zakman God, you know, was going into, I think the other day, regarding the Jake who got he got locked up because his son got killed by police, didn't have a gun on him, he ran, they shot him, and then the next day which I don't, that don't make sense to me, but I guess it is what it is. But he goes and basically runs over the first police officer that he found, because it was a retired, he wasn't in the shooting. I thought it would have been a little bit more premeditated, or make a little bit more sense if you actually went to the culprit at hand. You know what I mean? But you know, Jake crashed out, and he still don't care because they showed the video of him when they were trying to intimidate him. You see what I'm saying? And he was like, I don't care. Like what up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Giving, you know, ice grilling him back because they was, you know, grilling him and going into that spirit. So, and then this thing is going to be plastered, you know, on social media and all of that. And then, because you already have them tensions high, man. You add all these movies and, you know what I'm saying, all of these videos coming about, you know, certain fighting going on. People still be having the back of their mind that whole Montgomery peer, you know, battle that Jake had with Esau, all Jake versus all Esau, and Jake won. You know, so little things like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and wars is everywhere. And then to now go into the BiBi, you know, which is your, you know, Benjamin Wilkowski, or Netanyahu, because he ain't. You know, he's been declining, that he's not going to go into all of Gaza. Now, all of a sudden, last night or 2 days ago, he does a press conference, saying that, yeah, they are going to annex or take over 100% of Gaza. And America, through President DJT Nero, says that if Gaza is going to be taken, it's going to be America that's going to take it. This is what they said, you know. So, you know, that pride of Esau is coming back in a big way. You know, that killer nature of not giving a fuck about nothing and just starve people to death and kill them. That Edomite wickedness is starting to show. The devil's starting to show his horns, at least over there. And they're trying to do it because of the real estate. That's why I guess Trump wants, probably, remember, he's a businessman, so the art of the deal. So they was probably like, listen, if you let us push our Greater Israel project, which is essentially trying to usurp the prophecy promised to Abraham regarding the inheritance of land from the river of Egypt to the great river Euphrates. Because this is not going to stop. It's going to continue to go all the way until the border, or take a part of the piece of Egypt, you know, past that little Sinai Peninsula. Because that's what's stopping them to get to that point too, is Gaza. And then they saying, you know, they want to put a pipeline there. There's, you know, there's a great beachfront property. And Trump was like, listen, y'all want that? I'll help you with my Americans' money, but I want a legacy piece, you know, to put right there. And they probably said, all right, and they made a deal, you know. So this is how you know Yahweh Shai, you know, definitely was a prophet, was more than a prophet though, but yet, because he said that these things was going to happen, and they're happening. We're talking about battles, Salakia, on all fronts, man, everywhere. And of course, you know, Babylonians is just waiting for the battles to happen in America. But trust and believe, be patient, be of good courage. It will come. It will come. It's going to come here, man. They even preparing for, you know, riots and things of that nature to happen during the summer because of the lack of food that is going to be on the shelves. The storehouse is going to be seen empty because of the tariffs and the taxes, you know, that pretty much he has on the people, because that's the ones that's going to be paying for it, not necessarily the other countries, you know. And that is going to cause supply chain issues. And the summer is going to be a hot summer. You know, there might even be a point to where they try to lock people down again for another, you know, pandemic. And then people got nothing else better to do but to act on their emotions of what they see on the TV and on the phone, and start protesting and things of that nature, because they need that chaos so that they can bring about order out chaos, you know. So, you know, when the alternative news media was talking about, let's say, the India versus Pakistan, oh, World War III is quick, I'm like, I hear you, but we all know of the true men of the Lord, the prophets of the Lord, that the mark of the beast has to come first. So anytime I see World War III, the third woe, accelerating, I just know the economic collapse, the Great Reset, all right, the pushing of the hour temptation is coming swiftly. The hour temptation being when the whole world is tempted to take the chip. because of the environment, and you're under severe duress caused by Esau Edom. You know, so so yeah, the chip gotta come first. The chip gotta come first. But there's a lot of things going on. So this is the things that we have to watch. We have to pray. We're supposed to be very in tune to what's happening in the world, current events, man. World news or international news, you know, national news, local news, man. You know, to not have, your head in the sand, man. You know, just moving around like a zombie. You got to be aware of your surroundings. I mean, the scriptures commanded us to do so. What do you think it means when it says be circumspect? All right, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Circumspect literally means to be aware of your surroundings. Circle, going back to circumference. Okay, spectacle. All right, your glasses or your vision to see. So to see or to have vision, full circle. So a complete awareness of the elements surrounding you, up, down, left, right, height, width, depth, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually. You just got to be aware in every facet of life. Okay, and it could be, they refer this to like babies. They'll be like, oh, he's overstimulated. Constantly being aware of every single stimuli that affects your nervous system, to the untrained man could be stimulating, but through practice, you get, because you got people out here. I don't like to watch the news. It makes me feel bad and da 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 da. You got people that do that like that. They don't want to watch the news because to them it's nothing but negativity all day. But yet them people will stay on goddamn Instagram all day. You see what I'm saying? So what are you talking about? Because there's nothing but negativity on social media. Especially if you're on that side, they say, "Oh, you're on the right side of TikTok," meaning everything is balanced. So, for instance, on the internet, if you're on the internet, you could just be on bullshit entertainment all day, or you can use it for your learning. So that's what I use. Not to say that I don't have entertaining stuff on there, but you have to be, you know, mature in the spirit to be able to examine yourself when it's too much time on one thing, and there is the goal and the necessity to uplift and edify yourself in a correct manner, right? So, you know, and that race war thing too, I didn't put it in the topic, but I think it's a big thing. It talks about Yahweh Shai prophesied it's going to be a race war. He said nation against nation. When you go into Genesis, when Rebecca, Isaac's wife, entreated the Lord, basically went to her husband went to the priests, all right, or to the prophets, seers, because we're talking about before Israelites was even, a nation. But what's the name? The prophecy was that there was two nations in her womb. So nations is not social political constructs and boundaries on a map. Oh, we're in the American nation. No, nations are humans descended from the same seed line. the same seed. All right. So Jacob, what Israel was a nation, and Esau, Edom was a nation, and these were, fetuses in the womb of Rebecca. So meaning that they were to become a nation because their sons were to populate vastly, right? And and be have a consistent of many families, many clans, many tribes. So when Yahushua said nation against nation, all right, this we're literally in our understanding, we're talking about a race war. In Esdras, Esdras said one people shall fight against another. What does it mean to be one people? That means these people are the same people. Okay, we're talking about a race war, man. And this race war gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy, next level. You know, going to be in a mix of a class war, right? Because they are hollowing out the middle class. I was watching, Lord willing, I could do a video on it regarding the Catherine Austin Fitz and Tucker Carlson interview. Very good interview. Anytime she pretty much talks, I listen because she's one of the ones that came out first of, on a secular level, their tongue shall fall upon themselves, the scriptures say, as connecting cryptocurrency with a RFID compatible implantable computer chip. So I was like, oh nah, yeah. She has an interview, she talks, oh yeah, I'm listening, and she's been pushing it, So yeah, like, that globalization was going to be the decline of America's basically world reserve currency status because it was going to hollow out the middle class. Because globalization is what kept prices low in the beginning, because you don't have to pay a lot of money to create it, because you're paying your workers, slave wages damn near, because there is no labor laws at that point in time in Burma, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, the Philippines, Taiwan, China type thing. So as that happened and it started to make a global economy because of globalization, everything started to be tethered to the world reserve currency. Over a period of time, due to America's monetary policy and hyperinflation, it was going to hollow out the middle class because it's damn near no need for them anymore. I see 333 understanding, you know. So yeah, man, so as this middle class goes away, you're gonna see uproars of the people, and we're pretty much seeing it now. But it's going to rear its head, and supposedly it's going to manifest itself greater during the summer. There's already stores with empty shelves, man. Okay. Um, so brothers Akim in the camp have seen this, elders. You know. So yeah. I'm gonna pretty much leave it at that. I'm almost at my destination. I didn't want to talk too long. I'm at about 25 minutes. So also kind of like not a spiritual rant, but a commentary. I'll say a good commentary. It was a meditation before the plantation. Just openly talking about it, because this could be a big deal. The India-Pakistan thing could really be a big deal. Of course, the BiBi trying to take over 100% of Gaza, which we're talking about 2 million Palestinians. You know, um, so yeah, man. Shit is getting real. So all of these things you already know. I will paraphrase Second Esdras 9:1 because that gives us a better perspective of what these how we know that we're in the end. You know, and this is why other people. This is why the Apocrypha is part of the scriptures. You have to read it. It's literally a part of the prophecies. Um, Measure the time thou diligently in itself. Okay, and it goes on, to paraphrase, when you see part of these times pass, just know that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we can see, because we're measuring while we're in the time, that Yahushua is going to return. Okay, and when Yahushua, before he returns, all hell got to break loose. Fortunately, not unfortunately. Okay, because that is that sifting period. That's the plagues coming to America. That is all the destruction coming upon the earth. He said, I've come to send fire upon the earth, and what will I, if it already be kindled? So there's already going to be literal fires, but also oppression, adversities. You know, Fires could be representative of that hard times that you're going through. The elect have to go through the furnace of adversity. You know, so there's already going to be problems on the earth all over the place. Everywhere when he returns. It's going to be all type of fucked up anarchy and lawlessness pockets. You know. So with that, man, I'm gonna say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bahasham, Chapadash, and the Holy Spirit, man. Finally got a little back on deck with a little iPhone, old one replacement. For those that don't know, going had to use my iPad because I didn't have a phone on me, but the Lord looked out like he always does. I did a video on that too. The Lord always looking out, will always and be looking out. All right, so with that, man, shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.